Doctor, can you talk a little bit about your personal story with detoxification? That's really where you learned a lot about what you do now, isn't it?
Absolutely. I really learned by my own experience quite a bit, and I had about 17 amalgams in my mouth that I got all through my teenage years and youth. And actually, only when the guy took them out, he said, "You're not going to like this, but you only have one cavity." And I know, this is terrible. They were doing what they call sealant. If you have a little crack,
sure.
they don't want the bacteria to grow. And now they just paste some epoxy on there. But then the guy dug it out and he'd put mercury in there. And so I do remember in my teenage years, early teenage years, once I started getting all these amalgams in, that I became liable to fits of anger. I put my hand through my wall a lot. I was normally a calm guy, but then I would just explode. And then, you know, I really feel that there was kind of a decay in my intelligence for a while, as I didn't take real good care of myself, but I had all these amalgams. As a small child, I was, you know, way at the top of the class, and then I went to college and I was having more of a hard time, and then I really got into health and taking care of myself and went back to grad school. Then I was performing real well again, but I'd always have to go to I'd always go to Chinese doctors, and they'd say, "Oh, you got deficient kidneys, you know, you're worn out, and you got excess liver," you know, and that's the anger thing, and that's an irritation, is toxins in the liver. And I went to graduate school, and I'm studying mercury, and I'm studying environmental mercury. And it was we knew everything about how mercury moves through the environment, how it moves through the wildlife, but we conveniently ignore ourselves completely. We know nothing about all this mercury that's in our mouth and why that's making us crazy. And then through the middle of that, it suddenly became very aware to me what a problem it was. I could sort of feel it draining through my mouth. And then I went and started my company, and I met some of the holistic dentists in my area, and they took my amalgams out, and then I went about going through the traditional detoxifications. I used DMSA, which is a chelator, and that just made me sicker and sicker. So from there, I moved on. Well, I was watching some functional medicine forum talks. There was two guys in particular. One was Bob Roundtree, functional medicine MD, and he was talking about the importance of the gut to immunity, and that just all the amazing things that happen in the gut. And here we're pouring all this mercury down through our gut. And then another guy, Nigel Plummer, and he's famous for Pharmax probiotics, and he was talking also about the importance of the gut. And so I'd been taking all these chelators that push the mercury through the kidneys, but I was measuring, I have analytical equipment, I was measuring the urine, and nothing was really coming out. I mean, a little more was, but it wasn't really impressive, and I was getting sicker and sicker. And so after watching these talks on the gut, I went, hey, you know, I think I can do this through the gut instead. And so I made a product. Actually, I had a product that was suited to that. I just modified it for consumption. And I took that, and it pulled me out of all the problems. And all of a sudden, I felt much better. And then I had a couple other notable figures in the field, like Dietrich Klinghardt and Hal Huggins tried out. And they were like, yeah, this stuff's great. And from there, I tried to figure out why it was great, because I didn't really understand. And that led me to basically dissect the whole detoxification system, how it works, and why it's so important to have the gut clean, and why it anchors down to the gut. And then I went through trying all of these theories on how to upregulate all the different parts of the system, trying them all on myself, and puncturing my vein, 20 times a week, until I was very clear on how the system works, and what I feel is a better system for detoxifying people from metals and mercury in specific.